Today, we're going to talk about how mail gets into Fireside. As you can recall, Fireside is web-based software that members of Congress use to communicate with their constituents. As you can imagine, constituents can send in mail in a number of different ways. They can send in phone calls, they can walk in and meet with the office, they can also send in emails and physical mailings. Today, we're going to talk about how emails and physical letters get into your Fireside inbox. So to do that, first we're going to leave Fireside. Right here, we've got our demo account for Joe Congressman, and he has got a contact form for his constituents. Every member of Congress has one, and they all have very similar elements, starting with your name and address. And then the important questions to pay attention to on this are these two questions right here. The first one says, select the issue your email relates to, and then there's a drop-down box. When you click that allows constituents to self-tag an issue that they would like to associate their mail with. For example, perhaps they're writing in on an agriculture subsidy issue. They can self-tag by clicking this agriculture issue, and their email, when it comes in, will already be tagged with this issue code. However, since constituents are self-tagging the mail, it might not always be accurate. For example, they might say, I am educating the congressman, so my issue is on education, but really, their email is on tax policy. The next question to pay attention to is right here where it says, yes, I would like a response, or no, I just want you to know my thoughts. If constituents select, yes, I would like a response, we call that an inbound, and a response is automatically created to send for that person, a response type. If, however, they say, no, I just want you to know my thoughts, we call that a comment. It's marked with a special icon, and we don't automatically create a response type for you to send to them since they did not request a response. You can, of course, overwrite this and send them a response if you would like. The last two questions are the subject of the email and the message body, and then at the bottom, they can hit submit, and that will generate an email, an individual email that comes into your Fireside inbox. We call this a source, and this is the first source for how things get into Fireside, and that is through the contact form, and that generates individual emails. I'll show you what that looks like once we get to the inbox. The second source for how mail can get into your inbox is through campaigns. As you can imagine, there are many advocacy organizations that want their members to talk to Congress. For example, right here, we've got the American Cancer Society's Cancer Action Network. They've got this form that's specifically on this issue on protecting the FDA's authority on tobacco products. It looks similar to the contact form in that you've got the name and address information on the left-hand side, and then on the right here, they've got a pre-filled out text as well as the ability to personalize the text in that email, as well as change the subject line. Once constituents fill that out and personalize it as they wish, then they can hit send message. What that does is that sends an email into the Fireside inbox. However, since it's coming through an advocacy group, what we have on the back end is an ID number that tracks all of these forms by each advocacy group on each different issue, and we can group those together. That grouping is called a campaign. What we can do then is make it very easy for you to log this campaign mail all at once. And this is called the second source for how things get into your inbox, and it's called campaigns. The third source for how mail can get into your inbox is actually through physical letters. So if a constituent writes your office and they send a physical letter addressed to your DC office, first it gets sent to an off-site facility where the mail is opened and then it's scanned, and then the scans of those letters, including the envelopes, get sent to Fireside where we put those into your new inbox. This source is called digital mail because it's mail that has been digitized through the scanning process. As you can see, we've got 3 different sources for how emails and letters come in. Now let's take a look at what that looks like. So over here, we've got our brand new inbox. On the left-hand side are the 3 different sources. By default, all 3 are selected, but you can choose to by 1 or 2 by clicking on them. The first source is individual emails. Those are the emails that came in through the contact form. The second source is through campaigns. Those are emails that came in through an advocacy group with some pre-formatted text. And the final, third source is for digital mail. That is mail that was scanned in and sent to Fireside for you to process.